and welcome to our podcast. Today we are talking about a fascinating linguistic journey to explore the two prominent members of the West Germanic language family, which is English and German.
That's right. It's easy to forget that English and German are actually cousins. So to speak, both languages trace their roots back to Proto-Germanic, a language believed to have been spoken around 2,500 years ago.
So, alright, since we are talking about the English and German today, grab yourself coffee or pretzel.
So without further ado, please welcome our special guest. But unfortunately, one of them can join us, but she'll joining us through video.
Stay tuned!
Hi!
Hello.
So, may you introduce yourself?
Of course. Guten Tag, everyone. My name is Herald, and I study linguistics at Harvard.
Hello, Susamen. My name is Zoe. I study linguistics at Princeton.
So before we move on, you guys might be wondering what we're going to discuss about today. So Chia, may you explain?
Of course, so today we'll be focusing on the studies of meaning, structure, and of course, each individual differences in English and German, and that make each language special in their own right.
Exactly. So let's jump right in. Let's start with morphology. So Gerald, can you break down what English morphology compares to German morphology?
Oh, from what I know, basically, English morphology is how you change the word, the form of the word. So it's honestly much more simpler than German morphology. When you use nouns, you just add an S at the end when it's English morphology. But whereas German morphology, it's more complex. It has a rich system, has a lot of verb conjugations, and it helps make the word structure and meaning much more meaningful.
Okay, straightforward enough. Zoe, how about you?
Well, German is definitely more complex. Noun change depending on the role in the sentence. For example, der Hund, den Hund, dem Hund, and des Hundes. The same word but different forms, and verbs also change endings depending on the subject. Gehe, du gehst, gehst.
So English is all about keeping it simple, while German makes you pay attention to every detail.
Exactly. So that's a really good contrast, and it brings us to our next point, which is syntax, or how sentences are structured. So Gerald, how does English handle it when it compares with German?
Alright, so generally, English follows a fixed word order or an SVO word order. It's a subject, verb, object word order. This word order helps reduce ambiguity in sentences, whereas German follows the same fixed order like English, but in some cases it may differ from English when it comes to dependent clauses. And with that, the subject or the word order will change into a SOV word order or a subject, object, verb word order to help emphasize the verb much better.
Right, so word order is essential English. So, does German follow the same rule?
In a simple sentence, yes. For example, ich lese ein Buch. But German allows more flexibility. You can also say heute lese ich ein Buch. The verb must stay in the second position, but the subject and other elements can move around.
So English is more set, while German gives you more options, such as long as the verb rule is respected.
Alright, so now let's talk about semantics or meaning. So Gerald, how does English and German stand out in their own way?
So English has more choices when it comes to many background contexts to add meaning. But when we talk about German semantics, it has fewer choices. It doesn't really help as much as English semantics per se.
Interesting.
Zoe, may you show us how it stands out more using examples?
German usually has a fewer synonyms. For example, anfangen or beginnen. Both mean to begin, and anonyms are often made by adding prefixes. For instance, glücklich means happy, while unglücklich means unhappy.
English builds meaning and separates in words.
While as German builds new meaning with the same blocks.
This has been such an insightful discussion.
Absolutely, to recap, English is simpler in morphology, more complex in syntax, and rich in synonyms.
German is more complex in morphology, flexible in syntax, and more logical when forming words, synonyms, and compounds in semantics.
Both has rich history, especially talking about their linguistic aspect and their individual differences. So that makes them special in their own ways.
Thank you, Gerald and Zoe, for joining us today.
And thank you for our listeners, whether you are Team English, Team German, or maybe Team Pretzels. Remember, every language tells a story.
We'll see you in next episode.
Bye bye.